You're Mr. Mason, the attorney?
Yes. The blue eyes, which had been looking at him in cautious appraisal, suddenly widened as though by an effort. They gave to her face an expression of utter innocence.
I am in trouble,
she said. Perry Mason nodded as though the news meant nothing to him, other than a matter of daily routine. When she didn't go on, he said, "Most people who come in here are." The woman said abruptly,
You don't make it easy for me to tell you about it. Most of the attorneys I have consulted.
She was suddenly silent. Perry Mason smiled at her. Slowly he got to his feet, put his hands on the edge of the desk, and leaned his weight on them so that his body was leaning toward her across the desk. "Yes," he said, "I know. Most of the attorneys that you've consulted have had expensive suites of offices and a lot of clerks running in and out. You've paid them big money and haven't had anything much to show for it. They've bowed and scraped when you came in the room and charged you big retainers, but when you get in a real jam, you don't dare go to them." Her wide eyes narrowed somewhat. For 2 or 3 seconds they stared at each other, and then the woman lowered her eyes. Perry Mason continued to speak slowly and forcefully, yet without raising his voice. "All right," he said. "I'm different. I get my business because I fight for it and because I fight for my clients. Nobody ever called on me to organize a corporation, and I've never yet probated an estate. I haven't drawn up over a dozen contracts in my life, and I wouldn't know how to go about foreclosing a mortgage. People that come to me don't come to me because they like the looks of my eyes or the way my office is furnished, or because they've known me at a club. They come to me because they need me. They come to me because they want to hire me for what I can do." She looked up at him then.
Just what is it that you do, Mr. Mason?
She asked. He snapped out 2 words at her. "I fight." She nodded vigorously.
That's exactly what I want you to do for me.
He sat down again in his swivel chair and lit a cigarette. The atmosphere seemed to have been cleared, as though the 2 personalities had created an electrical storm which had subsided. "All right," he said. "Now we've wasted enough time with preliminaries. Get down to earth and tell me what it is you want. Tell me first who you are and how you happen to come to me. Maybe it'll make it easier for you if you start in that way." She began to speak rapidly, as though she had rehearsed what she was saying.
I am married. My name is Eva Griffin, and I reside at 2271 Grove Street. I have trouble that I can't very well discuss with the attorneys who have heretofore represented me. A friend who asked her name withheld told me about you. She said that you were more than a lawyer, that you went out and did things.
She was silent for a moment and then asked,
Is it true?
Perry Mason nodded his head. "I suppose so," he said. "Most attorneys hire clerks and detectives to work up their cases and find out about the evidence. I don't, for the simple reason that I can't trust anyone to do that sort of stuff in the kind of cases I handle. I don't handle very many, but when I do, I'm well paid, and I usually give good results. When I hire a detective, he's hired to get just one fact." She nodded quickly and eagerly. Now that the ice was broken, she seemed eager to go on with her story.
You read in the paper about the hold-up at the Beechwood Inn last night? There were some guests, you know, in the main dining room, and some in the private dining rooms. A man tried to hold up the guests, and somebody shot him.
Perry Mason nodded. "I read about it," he said.
I was there.
He shrugged his shoulders. "Know anything about who did the shooting?" She lowered her eyes for a moment, and then raised them to his.
No, she said.
He looked at her, narrowed his eyes, and scowled. She met the stare for a second or 2, then lowered her eyes. Perry Mason continued to wait as though she had not answered his question. After a moment, she raised her eyes once more and fidgeted uneasily in the chair.
Well, she said, if you're going to be my attorney, I should tell you the truth, yes?
Mason's nod seemed more of satisfaction than affirmation. "Go on," he told her.
We tried to get out and couldn't. The entrances were all watched. It seems somebody had put through a call to the police department before the shooting, just when the hold-up started. Before we could get out, the police had the place sewed up.
"Who is we?" he asked. She studied the tip of her shoe, then said